legislative session ended March 13th, and we're now back in our district office in Bellevue. As your legislator, I wanted to give you a quick legislative wrap-up about what went on this session, but there's much more available online if you'd like more information and details. I have to say there were some large disappointments, but also some long-ranging successes that will make a positive difference for our families in our district and across the state. The biggest disappointments, frankly, were around job creation or the lack thereof. There was no transportation package that passed the Senate, which means no shovel-ready jobs, no long-term infrastructure investments, and no congestion relief in sight. Likewise, the capital budget went nowhere in the Senate after a strong bipartisan vote in the House. This would have funded needed community college improvements, investments in low-income housing projects, public works investments, environmental cleanup, and other projects that improve the infrastructure of our communities. However, with these failures came some successes in more policy-related items, many of which help disadvantaged youth. We passed the DREAM Act, helping undocumented students become eligible for college financial aid. Improvements were made for foster kids, including extending foster care to 21 years of age, providing attorneys to foster children, and empowering foster parents to make basic, prudent parenting decisions. For younger children, through a bill that I sponsored, we're ensuring access to quality early learning for kids involved in the children's welfare system. On education, again, there were disappointments and successes. On the disappointment front, we made no major steps to address the McCleary decision, the need to fully fund basic education. There was no money for school construction and no teacher COLAs, or cost of living increases. However, we did add $58 million for basic education supplies and also worked to ensure greater access to college with an additional $5 million for the state needs grant and a freezing of higher education tuition. On the community health and safety front, again, disappointments and successes. There was no Reproductive Parity Act, no paid safe and sick leave, even though both of those passed the House, and we were unable to come to an agreement on how best to deal with our medical marijuana system. On the positive side, we had some successes. We made significant steps on adding mental health beds and services at the community level. We added 5,000 new slots for services to those with developmental disabilities. And we made huge progress toward protecting women's lives by passing legislation preventing those with a protection order against them from having access to firearms. While the legislative session is over, the work I'm doing for you has just begun. I look forward to meeting with you back in district, at my office, at community events, or just out and about. Before I close, many of you have recently contacted my office regarding some projects being proposed by Puget Sound Energy that are to take place in our district. If you'd like more information on just what is happening in regards to this issue, please make use of the contact information on the screen. And for a more detailed look at what happened during the legislative session, please visit my legislative website for more information. And as always, if you have any concerns, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to contact me or my legislative assistant, William Palmer, at my district office. Special thanks again to those who have contacted me about a variety of issues this year. I enjoy hearing from you and look forward to continuing to improve the lives of families across our district and state. Thank you.